Ciao, lovelies. I'm called Rev Skyy, and in this video, we are going over 5 ways that the pandemic has hurt our relationships. And this is universally. This isn't just America or Europe or Africa or Australia. This is everywhere. Ciao. Let me know you're here. Drop a like, drop a comment. It's a beautiful day today. I figured I would jump on. I've talked to a few clients about this recently and figured I would share with the larger group to let you know you're not alone. And this is something that we are all dealing with. Ciao. All right. The first way that the pandemic has hurt relationships is by the prolonged uncertainty, the not knowing, the worry that has set in and isn't going away, figuratively, anytime soon. Uncertainty in the times, in our environment, in our relationship, with work, with our children, what's going on next, not knowing these things is huge for all of us. And just know you aren't alone. All of us are going through the same thing. All of us are uncertain about our next step. As no, none of us know what's going to happen. So no, you're not alone. The second one is the sense of ambiguous love. It is, let me look over here. Ambiguous love is love that is open to more than one interpretation. So it's from your social life. It's when you go to an event and you're able to talk to a whole bunch of people. When you go to work, when you're with family, when you have people around you other than the ones that you live with. So not having anyone else around, there's a real loss there. These other relationships are very important to our well-being in our day-to-day life. So not having them, not being able to see them, not being able to hug them, this is not easy. This is not easy for any of us. So once we know, once we're aware that it is happening to everybody and everyone feels it, and this is not just you, it might make it a little easier. You might have a little more patience with those you do live with and you did get stuck with. It's okay. It's happening. We're all dealing with it the best that we can. And we're all trying to go forward and do better. So there's another one for you. If that's been an issue, no, it is an issue for a lot of people. I have quite literally talked to 5 clients over the last 3 days about each one of these. Each of them having different ones, but all of them being the same. It is amazing, so I thought I would share. The third one is the collapse of boundaries. We no longer leave to do this and leave to do this and leave to do that. And for a long time, we didn't leave at all. So we had all of our stuff all in one place. We're not used to that. We used to go to work and we would leave house stuff at the house. We would come home from work and leave work stuff at work. If you were a mom, you could separate it by going out on a date or going to work or seeing your friends or doing other things. But the boundaries that have been lost because of the pandemic, you can feel it. You know it's there. You can sense it. And you may not have understood what it was, but it is the collapse of all of the boundaries that you set up. Because now that you're living with someone or someone's, or you have children or you have extended family, there's no boundaries. Everyone's in the same place all the time. And you're having to set up new boundaries and figure out new ways to do things for yourself without stepping on somebody else's boundaries. That is happening for everybody. And we're all going through it. and we are all dealing with it. This is why I wanted to jump on and say something and let you know this is happening. And yes, if you hadn't thought of it that way, then I'm glad I could switch that for you, because it isn't you. It isn't just you. I promise. What do we got next? Oh, yes. And many of us that were stuck together in the pandemic, and even until now, we're starting to find fault with the people that we're stuck with, that we're around the most. We're starting to find cracks in relationships. That is because instead of pulling up a mirror and looking in the mirror and seeing what we are adding to the situation, we've decided to pick up the microscope and analyze everybody else in the house, which isn't fair. And oddly enough, when you start digging, you're going to find a crack. And when the light shines through the crack and you feel like it might be better somewhere else, you are probably going to give yourself the evidence that you feel like you need to make whatever you think true, because you've done your research and you pulled out that microscope. Instead, pick up a mirror and say, what did I do? What am I doing? What can I do? It is not easy, and it is not going to happen overnight. But finding faults, starting to see things you didn't before, starting to learn what your communication style is or isn't. When you're stuck in a room with someone, all sorts of stuff is going to pop up. And none of it has anything else to do with anybody else in the room other than you. So when stuff pops up and you're stuck, go look in the mirror. It could be them. It's very possible. It could be you're in a horrible situation and you don't need to be there and you need to figure an exit plan. It could also be you. And as sorry as I am to say this, I'm kind of not, because that's part of what I do, is I hope people can see just a little bit different and it changes everything. That is my goal. Number 5 is, it is extremely hard. It is hard to stay grounded when it's the ground itself that's moving. So when you try to get centered and something else happens, recenter. If it's gotten personal and you're struggling with that, then you put your hand on your heart and you close your eyes and you go inside. And you know that everything you need is in there. And even if it's been hidden or tucked into a corner or pushed aside for the time being, or it hasn't been important, you haven't made it a priority, it's still there. You can still reach it. It's still available. It may be a little shy and you may want to coax it out some. Candy, chocolate, desserts, those usually work. So just know that this is not you alone. There is a lot of us all over the world going through these exact same things. I heard a talk by Esther Perel. I love this woman. She's one of my mentors, and she went over these things, and they have just come up all the time in the last few months. So 5 ways that the pandemic has hurt our relationship. 1, loss of boundaries. You know what? And in that is a loss of identity. You're not just this person, this person, this person, this person. You have 5 identities all of a sudden in one spot, and that can be very difficult to handle. It is not something that everyone is used to doing. You have different spots for different things, and now all of a sudden you do all the things in one spot. Give yourself a little patience. But the loss of boundaries, the sense of ambiguous love, the prolonged uncertainty, the not being able to stay grounded, and finding faults. This is everybody. This is universal. No, it's not just you. If any of these have happened to you, let me know down below. I will definitely see if I can help and see if I can get you some tools to use for you going forward. Again, I am Reverend Skyy. I hope you have an amazing weekend. From my face to yours, I love you. Ciao.